This is the Iowa Weather Report for Wednesday, April 9th, 2014. Now our first look at the 0Z GFS model run. This is at 1 p.m. this afternoon. We have a trough axis along the east coast that's kicking a storm system out into the Atlantic. And we have another system over the Canadian prairies. But around here, winds will be out of the south and west, and highs will zoom up into the upper 60s east to low 80s west. Relative humidities will be very dry, so an increased fire danger is going to be around, so don't burn anything. And the warm weather lasts only a day. Cold front comes through, could spark an isolated shower. Chances are about 20 to 30% or less. Highs drop back into the 60s statewide. Friday, there looks to still be a disturbance, another one coming through Minnesota and Wisconsin. That could squeak out a shower. Another 20 to 30% crack. Most places dry, highs in the 60s. And then the next storm system begins to take shape here on Saturday, and this could be a little more pronounced. The Gulf starts to open up, so we could see some showers and thunderstorms by Saturday afternoon and evening. Could we see severe weather? It's a little too early to determine that. On Sunday, the frontal system is passed, but we have some overrunning that could come later in the day on Sunday. You can see that in Nebraska and into northwestern Kansas with some rain. Be fairly cloudy, highs in the 50s to near 60. And then the cold air just dumps in. Monday could be quite brisk, partly to mostly cloudy, highs in the 40s and 50s. It's going to not feel like the middle of April, that's for sure. Any of the storms will be well off to our south and east. You can see that storm system moving off into the mid-Atlantic and northeast here on Tuesday. And at this point, the winds start to back toward the south and west, so we should see upper 40s to near 60 on Tuesday as the cold air moves back into Canada. But that's not going to last long, because here comes another cold front coming in here by next Wednesday. You can see the energy over the northern high plains in the upper Midwest, and this could bring a cold front in our area by late in the day on Wednesday of next week. This could bring some rain, maybe an embedded thunderstorm with highs in the 60s or so, if this is to be correct. Going into the extended period, April 20th, we have a trough axis over the east, ridge over the middle part of the country, and a trough axis off the west coast. And with this pattern, this would mean warm weather around, and a little bit of an active pattern, especially with a storm in the east, another developing off to our west, winds out of the south, so temperatures in the 60s and lower to middle 70s if this is to be correct. And then as we go to the end of the forecast on April the 24th, we have a storm crashing into the Pacific Northwest again, a bit of a broad trough over the upper Midwest and into central and eastern Canada, but this would bring a storm system that could bring some showers and maybe a thunderstorm at that point, with readings around 60 or so, give or take a couple of degrees. So a bit of warmer seasonal weather toward the middle to the end of April. Satellite image from last evening, we had the storm moving off the east coast, taking the clouds and showers and storms with it. A couple of low clouds hanging around the mid-south, and the next storm coming into the northwest and northern Rockies. The watch warning map from last evening, getting ahead of myself. This is from last evening. Red flag warnings over all of Nebraska and adjacent states, including the western about quarter of Iowa, and flood watch in down east Maine. Now to the QPF chart. Precipitation over the next 5 days through Sunday evening at 7 o'clock. This shows the storm system, especially this weekend, could bring quite a bit of this rain, maybe upwards of an inch or two across the entire state, maybe isolated heavier totals.